चारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वन चारे जमुना तीर वन चारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वन चारे जमुना तीर वन चारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय वंशपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की ISKCON बेबडी फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नवाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजमी वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावित भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 56, and text number 23 onwards up to 45. Please bear with me. This is the story of Syamantaka jewel and how the Dwarkavasis ultimately blame Lord Shri Krishna that he stole it. And Krishna, knowing that being the absolute truth, he was taking this kind of onus on his head to retrieve Syamantaka jewel. Possession of something valuable, but it is material value, then it becomes dangerous if it is not properly utilized in the service of Krishna. Because all the opulences are coming from Lord Shri Krishna. So, in Krishna, his search for the jewel, he arrived at Jambavan's cave, and he happened to, being challenged simply because of the family attachment of Jambavan. There was a child in his house, and he gave the jewel to play, not knowing the value. Monkeys and other wild animals do not know the value. But it's not a question of material value. How much spiritual value one should have, even though one may possess it. So, what obstructs us? It's a beautiful story, but with very little purpose by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So I have brought Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Digdarshani Tika, translated by Banu Maharaj, also to put up some comparative understanding. Today's verse number 23, dvandva-yuddhaṁ, su-tumulam, ubhayoḥ, vijigīṣatoḥ, āyudha, aśma, drumaiḥ, dorbhiḥ, kravya. arthe, śyenayor, eva. Translation is that the two fought furiously in a single combat, each determined to win, contending against each other with various weapons, and then with stones, trees, and finally their bare arms. They struggle like the two hawks battling over a piece of flesh. This is the description of the fight between Jambavan and Lord Shri Krishna. The fight went on without rest of 28 days. The two opponents striking each other with their fist, which fell like cracking blows of lightning. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the fight continued day and night without intermission. His bulging muscles, plummeted by the blow of Krishna's fist, his strength faltering and his limbs perspiring, Jambavan, greatly astonished, finally spoke to the Lord. Jambavan said, I know now that you are the life, air, and the sensory, mental, bodily strength of all living beings. You are Lord Vishnu, the original person, the supreme, all-powerful controller. You are the ultimate creator of all creators of the universe and of everything created. You are the underlying substance. You are subduer of all subduers, the Supreme Lord and Super Soul of all souls. In the pulpit, the disciples are adding, Lord Kapila also states in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 25th chapter, 42nd verse, Mrityus charati mad bhayad, death himself moves about out of fear of me. Jambavan continues, you are he who impelled the ocean to give away when his sidelong glances, slightly manifesting his anger, disturbed crocodiles and timingal fish within the watery depths. You are he who built great bridge to establish his fame, who burned down the city of Lanka, and whose arrows severed the heads of Ravana, which then fell to the ground. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O king, Lord Krishna, when addressed the kings of the bear who had understood the truth, the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, the son of Devaki, touched Jambavan with his hand, which bestow all blessings, and spoke to his devotee with sublime compassion, his grave voice deeply resounding like a cloud. Lord Krishna said, it is for this jewel, O Lord of the bears, that we have come to your cave. I intend to use the jewel to disprove the false accusations against me. Thus addressed, Jambavan happily honored the Lord by offering him his maiden daughter Jambavati together with the jewel. After Lord Sauri had entered the cave, the people of Dwarka who had accompanied him had waited 12 days without seeing him come out again. Finally, they had given up and returned to their city in great sorrow. When Devaki, Rukmini Devi, Vasudeva, and the Lord's other relatives and friends heard that he had not come out of the cave, they all lamented. Cursing Satrajit, the sorrowful residents of Dwarka approached the Durga deity named Chandrabhaga and prayed to her for Krishna's return. When the citizens had finished worshipping the demigoddess, she spoke to them in response, promising to grant their request. Just then Lord Krishna, who had achieved his purpose, appeared before them in the company of his new wife, filling them with joy. Seeing Lord Rishikesh return as if from death, accompanied by his new wife, and wearing the Syamantaka jewel on his neck, all the people were roused to jubilation. In the purport, they are writing, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jambavan had placed the jewel on the Lord's neck when he had presented his daughter in marriage. Lord Krishna summoned Satrajit to the royal assembly. There, in the presence of King Ugrasena, Krishna announced the recovery of jewel and then formally presented it to Satrajit. Hanging his head in great shame, Satrajit took the gem and returned home, all the while feeling remorse for his sinful behavior. Pondering over his grievous offense and worried about the possibility of conflict with the Lord's mighty devotees, King Satrajit thought, how can I cleanse myself of my contaminations? And how may Lord Achyuta become satisfied with me? What can I do to regain my good fortune and avoid being cursed by the populace for being so short-sighted, miserly, foolish, and avaricious? I shall give my daughter and jewel of all women, my daughter, the jewel of all women, to Lord, together with Syamantaka jewel. That indeed is the only proper way to pacify him. Having thus intelligently made up his mind, King Satrajit personally arranged to present Lord Krishna with his fair daughter and Syamantaka jewel. The Lord married Satyabhama in proper religious fashion, possessed of all excellent behavior, along with beauty, broad-mindedness, and all other good qualities. She had been sought by many men. Srila Sridhar Swami explains that men such as Kritavarma had sought the hand of Satyabhama. The Supreme Personality of Godhead told Satrajit, we do not care to take this jewel back. O king, you are the sun god's devotee, so let it stay in your possession. Thus we will also enjoy its benefits. In the purport, Satrajit should have worshipped Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Thus, there is certainly a touch of irony in Lord Krishna's saying, after all, you are a devotee of Sun God. Furthermore, Krishna had already acquired Satrajit's greatest treasure, the pure and beautiful Satyabhama. Thus end the purports of the humble servant of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, to the 10th canto, 56th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Syamantaka Jewel. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutāpada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusati Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah. Now, let us recollect this second part of the chapter, beginning from 23rd to 45th verses. Wherever the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti has been omitted, we will come to know. All right. Just to give you prelude of yesterday's class, there was a very important commentary that we also have, maybe in part, it's a little different. But let's try to understand. In Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's in description of the fighting began between Jambavan and Lord Shri Krishna, in the 22nd verse, it was told that unaware of his pure position and thinking him an ordinary man, Jambavan angrily began fighting with the Supreme Lord, his master. And the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna never experienced the satisfaction of a good fight with such weakling as Chanur, Kamsa and Janasandha. Therefore the Lord desired to fight with one of his own servant having similar strength as himself, and thus achieve the happiness of battle. Krishna also wanted to please his devotee Jambavan, who had not attained a full taste of Veera Rasa, heroism, even by fighting with the armies of Ravana. To fulfill his and Jambavan's desire, Krishna ordered Yogamaya to use his Lila Shakti to cover his sweet Madhurya aspect from Jambavan. Thus Jambavan thought of Krishna as an ordinary human. Srila Prabhupada covered this aspect of explanation in first canto, where all the leelas are amanushi, or in Bhagavad Gita he warns, manushim das avajananti mama mudha manushim tanumasritam param bhavam ajananta mama bhuta maheshwaram. Not knowing my divine nature, people think that I am one of them, and they consider me to be ordinary human being. And they deal with me like that. Right? Now it means there is a cover of Yogamaya while Krishna is coming and wanted to express his desire in Vira Rasa. Vira Rasa means fighting. And when Krishna dealt with Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, that was no less than Vira Rasa. And after all, he is doing it with his own devotees, personal servants, Jai and Vijay. So everything was completely obscured or covered in the minds of those who are materially attached. They cannot. Mudha, avajananti. So naturally, this gives us a pretext that other than bodily conception, there is a spiritual conception and one must take help of it. In the same verse of yesterday, you read the purport. The words Purusham Prakrutam Matva, thinking him a mundane person, are very significant. So-called Vedic scholars, including the most Western ones, enjoying translation of the word Purusham as man, even when the word refers to Lord Krishna. And thus, the unauthorized translations of Vedic literature are tainted by their materialistic conceptions of the Godhead. However, here it is clearly stated that it was because Jambavan misunderstood Lord's position that he considered him Prakrita Purusha, a mundane person. In other words, the Lord is actually Purushottama, the ultimate transcendental person. I do not find any controversy in this. Something of divine nature which is not to be generally found in the material world has been understood by those who are properly engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Only they have accessibility to understand. From this pretext, we can understand what is in the mind of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is called a Rasik Bhakta. He was one of the topmost philosopher and pure devotee of his time in Vrindavan. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was present, as you know, when Ramanandi Sampradaya challenged Gaudiya Vaishnavas to worship Radharani along with Govindji in Jaipur. And they filed a case in the court of Jai Singh, the king of Jaipur. Their claim was that we do not have a treatise on the absolute truth, which is a foundation for every sampradaya to have their own. If you are calling a Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya, then where is your treatise on the absolute truth? Absolute truth is Janmadhyasya Yata. How come you are bringing Radharani and how come you are worshipping her? There is no mention. Even in Bhagavatam, Radharani has not been mentioned. And all these things. They were arguing heavily. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very invalid at that time. So he sent Baldev Vidyabhushan to handle this situation. And we know Baldev Vidyabhushan could convince them. But again there was an argument that you do not have a written treatise, you are simply speaking up how it is going to be propounded in subsequent succession that you will be carrying on. Only a written treatise is necessary, and you don't have. Baldev said, on this pretext, I'm just praying that to Govindji that let me have 1 month and I will present to you. And Jai Singh approved it. So within a month, Baldev Vidyabhushan came with the treatise called Govindabhashya. Govindabhashya. Lord Govinda revealed to him. He was in complete in tune with communication with the Lord. The Lord dictated him. Just like Srila Prabhupada is also claiming, the Lord is dictating. I do not know what am I writing. Therefore, I am very eager to see my books and read personally and enjoy. And we are not studying much of Srila Prabhupada's books. That is the irony. Why? We'll come to the conclusion also later on. So, we'll quickly read a few commentaries. All the commentaries, because there are hardly one sentence or two sentences. Vishwanath Chakravarti also writes, but he is on the point, okay? So, 23rd verse, there is a commentary. They fought like two hawks fighting for flesh, means kravya. Next, they fought continuously for 28 days and nights, aharnisham, without a moment's rest, with blows nishpesha, as hard as striking thunderbolts. As Jambavan's huge muscles were being beaten by Krishna, he considered, who can be stronger than me except Rama? See the meditation. Remembering those old thoughts, Jambavan became astonished and concluded that this must be his Lord. Jambavan said, if all the prana of the countless living entities of all the billions of universes were brought together, and if all the strengths of all the senses, oja, mind, saha, and bodies, bala, were brought together in one place, still I understand that all this would be you alone, since all these are your vibhutis. Thus, how can your strength be countered by the strength of one entity like me? See the meditation. It is like a butterfly trying to defeat Garuda. You are all-pervading Lord Vishnu, and I am a single localized individual. You are the primal person, and I am a recently manifested person. You are all-powerful Prabha Vishnu, and I am powerless. You are the supreme controller of all Adhishwaram, and I am controlled. Jambavan said, you are the creator of all creators of the universe, and I am only the creation of Brahma. You alone are the cause, Sat, of all the entities created within the universe. Brahma and other creators are merely secondary creators. Of destroyers, you are time, and ultimate destroyer, Kala, capable of doing it. Whereas I am subject to annihilation. You are the supreme soul of all living entities, jivas, whereas I am only one of the jivas. Jambavan said, since all these things are true, I know you are my worshipable Lord Ramachandra. By casting a slight glance of anger, you made the ocean, which was filled with agitated crocodiles and Timingal fish, gave you the passage to Lanka. You built a bridge as well, which is your very fame, and Lanka was burned down. Your arrows severed Ravana's 10 heads, which then fell to the ground. Jambavan personally realized Vijnata, the knowledge, Vijnanam, Vishishta Jnana of Bhagavan. So Krishna touched him with his hand to relieve his devotees of his bodily pains. Krishna said, many of us came to the entrance of this cave, and I have entered in order to dispel the false rumors about me concerning this jewel. Jambavan happily gave his virgin daughter to Krishna along with the jewel. When Dwarkavasa is finished worshipping Durga Devi, she gave Pratyadishta Dattaha a blessing. You will see Krishna. However, we substitute the word asavaha, means senses, and ashishaha, the benedictions. The verse means Krishna, who is dearmost object of everyone's senses, appeared. Means the fulfillment of Durga's promise was immediately proven by Krishna's presence. So he appeared before them. Krishna was wearing the jewel which Jambavan had placed on his neck when offering his daughter in marriage. Satyajit was repentant, anuttapyamanaha, for his offensive behavior. Satyajit was worried that mighty followers of Krishna would react inimically, vigraha virodha, towards him. His meditation on this matter is described in 2.5 verses. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that, number 40 to 42nd, that pondering over his grievous offense and worried about possibility of conflict with the Lord's mighty devotees, King Satyajit thought, how can I cleanse myself of contamination? And how may Lord Achyuta become satisfied with me? What can I do to regain my good fortune and avoid being cursed by populace of being short-sighted, miserly, foolish, and avaricious? I said, give my daughter, the jewel of all women, to the Lord together with Syamantaka's jewel. That indeed is the only proper way to pacify him. But Syamantaka jewel was not transcendental. Satyabhama was. So his estimation of his own daughter was quite a qualification. But why does he want to return the jewel to Lord Shri Krishna? Because he is the possessor of all riches. But that is a material calculation. That is a material calculation. Let's see. How Krishna rejects the Syamantak jewel and accepts Satyabhama. With a touch of irony, Krishna said, after all, you are a devotee of sun god. Deva bhaktasya. So let the jewel remain with you. Yanti devvrata devan pitrun yanti pitrvrata. You are not my worshipper. You have done all this nonsense and blamed me for nothing, for your little material possession. How far you can go to blame me that I'm responsible for it? So Krishna took onus on him to prove. He knew where this Syamantak jewel was and how it was. So he went into that direction and ultimately he got it. He didn't have to find here and there or investigate like CBI or ED. Huh? No. Krishna is almighty. He is the knower of everything. Huh? So instead of cultivating the knowledge of the absolute truth, nobody wants to handle it. Even when Krishna comes in front of him. That's why avajananti mam mudha manushimtanam asritam. Param bhavam ajananta mama bhutam. Param bhavam ajananta. That param bhav can be only given when we are engaged in proper devotional service. Devotional service is very important. There are so many ways, 9 ways have been given. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. One can do one or gradually climb up to the 9th step, Atma Nivedanam. But these devotees are very rare. We are also stuck somewhere in middle. Generally we say we are stuck at anartha nivrutti and not much progressing because we are attached to the false, temporary and unworthy attachments. When Sukadeva Goswami entered to answer Parikshit's questions, it starts in 2nd canto, right? Sukadeva Goswami relates the tattva. Up till now he was telling all the stories. How the Pandavas retired timely, Kunti's prayer, all surrounding the happenings of Mahabharata. All right? There was no clue which was given. It is all nice, readable stories where Krishna's presence is there. How Pandavas dealt with him is also described. But the stumbling block that prevents us to understand the divinity aspect has been said only in 2nd canto, starting without any delay. We see Sutta Goswami and Sukadeva Goswami, both, because one is the original speaker, another is a descendant speaker. They speak the same truth, right? Parikshit Maharaj's question was centered around the key of how to become free from all these sins and become pure. That was also the question by Saunak Rishi to Sutta Goswami. And Parikshit Maharaj's example was very conducive to entertain for the answer. So it is said, Dehapatya kalatradishu atmasainyeshu asats api tesham pramatto nidhanam pashyannapi na pashyati. The cause is dehapatya, the body, bodily conception of expansion of apatya means the family. Kalatra means wife. Adishu means children, relatives. Atma Sainyashu, we think they are our soldiers to protect us, protect our being. The conception of being is also in ignorance, and the solution that we come to depend upon our relatives and bodily, related peoples, to be our protector, provider, and whatnot. But they cannot save us from inevitable death. So the attachment to these fallible soldiers have been condemned, that we must come out from it. There's a proper varnashram system to protect women, so they should not be left out. But at the same time, at the cost of their protection, they cannot become liberated. They cannot become liberated. They can get liberated within their household life. They are filled with so many good qualities, and they must develop within remaining protection. Mrityu sarvaharashyaham. Then udbhavascha bhavishyataṁ. I am the source of everything for the future manifestation also. Then kirti, shri, vakcha narinam. Dhriti, kshama. What is the sixth one? No, seventh one. Veda. Oh, medha means intelligence. Medha, dhriti, kshama. These are so much good opulence that Krishna is investing himself in the body of a female. And they don't care. They are much more interested in dehapatya kalatradishu. Body and body. Of course, they can stay within the bodily conception, but they will have to become detached. How can they become detached? By disseminating the knowledge of spiritual science within the household. That is there. But most of the men are also in bodily conception of life. Because they don't know. And that is where the Sankirtan movement is taking very giant step in this particular age. That tasmat bharat sarvatma bhagavan ishvaro harihi shrotavya kirtitavyascha smartavyascha ichata ubhayam. Those who want to become fearless, they must take the process of pure devotional service. Su-tumulam, what you have to hear, Shrotavya, hear the holy name. Kirtitavyasya, kirtanam. Smartavyam, remembrance. If you want to become fearless, then take up these three. Chant, hearing, chanting, and remembering. Shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu smaranam. So in this way, we are always trying to remain aware in the path we have taken by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, forgetfulness is coming even in pure devotees. But Krishna does arrange a certain situation that gives the remembrance back to the devotee. And Prabhupada was so kind to tell, at the time of death you may not remember Lord Shri Krishna. Don't worry. But Krishna will remember whatever you have done for him. That is your asset. So where is the fear? Otherwise the fear of death and rebirth is there. Anyway. I was giving a class probably long time back. All right. And there was a question which was quite intriguing. All right. Guru Maharaj, I was watching the video on opening up Nrsimha temple wing of TOVP today, and I would like to share my realization with you. I was asking, if Krishna appeared before us, what would we say? Most devotees would probably say, I wish to fully surrender to you, I wish to perform unalloyed, selfless devotional service, etc. Well, Lord Krishna is sitting in our hearts as Super Soul Paramatma. Why am I not listening to him? Why am I not listening to him? So, knowledge is one thing, realization is another thing, but at the same time, implementing according to the realization is very important. So, whatever Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's realization are, they are very important. They are not only a narrative of one's whimsical mind, but it exposes how tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Krishna provides the required intelligence to remember him even. That's how Jambavan got. I don't know what is the reason they did not include all this extra. But regardless, there may be other reasons. The volume of the book may be going up, or this and that, whatever it is, but we are not casting aspersion. They retain few, but the main important thing about the story of Syamantaka jewel is that material possession is detrimental. Maybe this material possession of family, wife, children, they are also possessed. But it is asatsu, they are false possession. So our what we call our duty is to make everybody a Krishna conscious person in our family. Don't give up. Show by our highly developed character by contemplating on our previous acharyas' meditations. Think and we will be able to progress. Make them devotees. Don't give them up. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question? Yes.
Jambavan was in Ram Leela and also in Krishna Leela. That's like millions of years that he just lived that life. Was he the same?
Yes.
Same body, same incarnation?
That's correct. If Aswathama can live for that many years as a chiri, and he's still existing, why not? Hanuman was given the benediction to be a Chiranjeevi, and he also takes part in Krishna Leela. The flag of Hanuman, Hanuman on the flag of Arjun, Kapidvaja. Arjun is named.
Being millions of years old, he still had a young daughter and everything.
It's okay. Good. Transcendental nature. And there was also a child crying, and because Krishna took the jewel from his hand.
I opened it up. Anybody else?
In the modern times, even I don't want to say, but they say even Muhammad married a 9-year-old and have a child with her, and he was more than I think 65 plus. These are small examples, but we have big example because Krishna is very big. The influence of devotion is very big.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you very much Maharaj. In this story we see that a false blame was put on Krishna, and the Lord made many efforts to clear this false accusation. So sometimes we may also be blamed. So how much attempts we should make to clear off these false blames, or we should just tolerate?
Can you tell me in short?
In short, like in this story we see the Lord is making all efforts.
Oh, and reverence.
All, yeah.
Yes. That is also one type of affection, but you can't communicate much. You are stunned by seeing the beauty of Lord Sri Krishna. It is so bright that even 4 Kumaras, when they visited Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, they were under total awe and reverence. Awe and reverence is not exactly a type of devotional engagement. It is silent appreciation. I mean, I may be using very crude words, but devotional service begins with a relationship that is dasya sakhya vatsalya and madhurya. Awe and reverence is available in Vaikuntha. That may be also available in Golok Vrindavan.
I think I couldn't communicate properly my question. My question was, Lord Krishna is making so many efforts to clear off the blame put on him that he has stolen the Syamantaka jewel. Sometimes in our devotee community also, someone may put false blame on you. So how much efforts we should make to clear off such false blames, or we should just tolerate?
The appreciation will be in reciprocation, pleasure of Lord Krishna. How can I estimate? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyam. Is it coming to some satisfaction to you? No?
My voice is, I think, not clear.
Yeah, naturally. I forgot to bring my hearing aids.
What?
Huh?
No, I think he's asking that Krishna really worked hard to clear his name. How hard should we work if somebody's criticizing us?
Is there any limitation? Do you think spirit soul has any limitation? When you confine in the body, you are limited, but when you are liberated, and everything of realization begins after liberation, not before that. Is it coming something closer? Not yet.
You're not getting the question at all. The question is, Krishna worked really hard to clear his name.
Ah.
If I'm criticizing you, how hard should you work to clear your name?
Satyajit thought, but it was not enough. Because he was not a devotee of Krishna. He was thinking he is one of the relative. And he wanted to appease for his fault by giving Satyabhama and the jewel itself. But Krishna understood that the jewel was the cause of corrupting the mind of Satyajit. Right? Why not? As far as possible, clear it.
क्वेश्चन है कि हम पर कोई कलंक लगता है मिथ्या, तो हमको उसको दूर करने का प्रयास करना चाहिए कि छोड़ देना चाहिए जो हो?
नहीं, करना चाहिए. Why not? करना तो चाहिए. We have our system of arbitration, mediation, and so many things. Even in material world, in the court, you have to clear your name. When somebody accuses, even in the hierarchies, I want to clear my name. That's the first duty. People are misunderstanding me. Didn't devotees do? You have examples. Then, what's wrong in it? The Ram Bharose. You have right to express yourself. Bring them evidences. If they have, they can't manufacture. Maharaj, bolo.
Criticizing Lord Chaitanya, Ramchandra, but Lord Chaitanya didn't retaliate. He just corrected it.
Right. He did not disrespect even Ramchandra Puri. He did not disrespect being a senior. After all, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's vision was on the spiritual soul level. Why would he think about the impurities in behavior or the habits or anything? Therefore, in Vaishnava etiquette, devotees develop very intrinsic qualities. Why Srila Prabhupada was eating prasadam facing wall and nobody else in front? It's a meditation. Otherwise, people who are serving may think, or looking at him, no. Respect for the meditation. Poor my ears, See, this is also defect, right? 4 defects, but this is 5th one, not hearing properly. Yeah.
I was thinking of your question, and I was thinking of Srila Prabhupada. He was criticized very much by his godbrothers. His his response was always, the dogs may bark, but the caravan will pass. Right? He never worked on trying to clear his name. He went on with his preaching work. So if you're preaching, you're going to be criticized in general. But that doesn't matter to a devotee.
But Srila Prabhupada was not aloof that he is being criticized. Never mind, but he is doing the right thing according to time, place and circumstances. So he had every hope in his favor that he is not doing wrong. Yeah. That is the boldness, the courage to implement. And we can see, phalena parichiyate, you know. Right? Good? It's past 9, right? He can't sit more than 9 o'clock.
Otherwise I might criticize.
See? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.